The trip started in Santiago, capital of Chile. After our day in Santiago, we took the plane down to Patagonia. Here we were met by our guides and driven to Puerto Natales. The following day we got the boat up the fjord, past the Serrano Glacier, where we got onto the Zodiacs, up the river and then onto another truck that took us to our campsite at Torres. It started off fairly calm. It got windier as the day progressed. We then got on the Zodiacs and went up the Serrano River. The weather was quite grim, but it was still an exciting ride. We was then onto the truck for the drive to the Torres campsite. This is the profile of the first day's walk. Of course we had to follow it back down, and this is what it looks like in a 3D model. Walked up the valley to the lookout here where we could see the towers. I'm walking for about half an hour now on the way up to the towers lookout. Here we are.
I know the big granite rock.
What's this, the Mirador del Paine? And there are the towers. A little bit cloudy, but it might clear. Here's the cross section of the second day's walk. There's the hump, and then down and along the Paine River to the campsite at Camping Serrón. It's looking down towards the Paine River. The campsite's down there somewhere, a bit further on. Here we are approaching the Refugio, on the grounds of which we'll build our camp. Quite a nice spot. It's about 2:40. The following day was quite long, as you can see, 18 kilometres, but a very pleasant day's walk. Here you can see our trail going beside the lakes and rivers, ending up at Camp Dixon, looking down Lake Dixon to the Dixon Glacier. Day 3 now, just come over sort of a shoulder in the hill. And the sun's coming out, which is quite unusual. And I think we're heading for where that river comes down the bend there. Today, still quite a way off. That's the Camp Dixon.
Hill here.
This day was mainly uphill, but only, as you can see, 11.5 kilometres. We went up the valley, making a sharp turn up to the Lost Dog campsite at the foot of the pass. I'm walking about half an hour or so on day 4. There's the Dixon Glacier, Lake Dixon. That is Paso John Gardner. We'll be going over tomorrow. The Los Perros, Lost Dogs Glacier. following day it was over the pass, 8 kilometres. Here you can see the route and the view we had of the Grey Glacier the other side, down to Camp Paso. Start of our walk up the path. So there's a more stunted forest than we had yesterday. And that's the pass there. It doesn't look too far away, but we've still got a way to go. And it's a nice day, although a bit windy. But that's where we camped, somewhere down in the trees there by the river. It's about 11:45 now and we're at the top. Thank goodness. Wasn't all that bad actually, the weather was fine. And that's looking down the way we came. And that's looking the way we've got to go down. That's the Grey Glacier. This is the way we're heading. This is the descent towards Lago Grey. There were a few errors in the GPS readings here, I fear. But the route took us along the side of the Grey Glacier and Lake Grey, across a couple of gullies to Camp Grey. Here we are at a lookout near the camp. Very windy this morning. Nice looking down Lake Grey. It's just a few minutes after those last shots. This is the second of the gullies. The next day we had to climb up over Windy Pass, 11 kilometres, nearly 12. The track took us along the side of the lake and over the pass and down to Lake Piwa, our last fully loaded day. Now we can see both halves of the Grey Glacier where it comes round the Nunatak. This is the final stretch at the end of day 7 going down to Lake Piwa. And here's our first view of the Horns. The pinnacle there is called the Sword. Final campsite at Piwa. This day I forgot to turn on my GPS, so this is an estimation of the route in poor weather. Today, a bit wet and windy, heading towards the French Valley. The following day, after a trip across the lake, it was into the car to drive back to Porto Natales.